Leaders in the Quad Summit have heaped praises for India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. US President Biden praised Modi for handling COVID pandemic successfully and contrasted India's success with China's failure to handle the pandemic, adding that Prime Minister's success showed the world that democracies can deliver and busted the myth that autocracies like China and Russia can handle the rapidly changing world better. According to sources, the remarks coming in from Biden appeared to be unscripted, as he made a special intervention to say this before his prepared remarks. In fact, newly elected Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that vaccines supplied by India to other countries have made a difference on ground, and that such success is more valuable than just winning theoretical debates of ideas. Japanese Prime Minister appreciated India's contribution, recalled Indian-made vaccines delivered under Quad Vaccine Initiative were received with gratitude in Thailand and in Cambodia.
Prime Minister Modi, it's wonderful to see you again in person. Thank you for your continuing commitment to making sure democracies deliver, because that's what this is about, democracies versus autocracies, and we have to make sure we deliver.
Our relationship with India is a very important one, and it was a great honour to meet with Prime Minister Modi. Our relationship with India is a very important one, and it was a great honour to meet with Prime Minister Modi.
The highly anticipated Modi and Biden one-on-one bilateral talks were held to further strengthen US-India mutual ties. At the bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, US President said that both the nations were committed to make the US-India partnership amongst the closest there exists. The talks were held on post-COVID pandemic recovery, trade investments, technology, creating a resilient US-India supply chain. Both the world leaders have been in regular contact through virtual and in-person meetings. The two have met virtually on at least 3 occasions: in the Quad Virtual Summit in March 21, Climate Change Summit in April 21, the G7 Summit, in June 21. The first in-person meeting between the two leaders took place in September last year, when President Biden welcomed Modi in the Oval Office of the White House. That was the onset of a new chapter in US-India relationship.
क्वाड और कल घोषित आईपीएफ इसके सक्रिय उदाहरण हैं। आज हमारी चर्चा से इस पॉजिटिव मोमेंटम को और गति मिलेगी। मुझे विश्वास है कि भारत और अमेरिका की मित्रता, वैश्विक शांति और स्थिरता, प्लेनेट की सस्टेनेबिलिटी और मानव जाति के कल्याण के लिए एक फोर्स फॉर गुड बनी रहेगी। हम दोनों ही देश के इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र के बारे में भी समान नजरिया रखते हैं और न सिर्फ द्विपक्षीय स्तर पर बल्कि अन्य लाइक माइंडेड देशों के साथ अपने साझा मूल्यों और साझा हितों को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए काम कर रहे हैं। हमारे पीपल टू पीपल रिलेशंस और घनिष्ठ आर्थिक संबंधों में भी हमारी पार्टनरशिप को यूनिक बनाते हैं। हमारे बीच ट्रेड और निवेश में भी निरंतर विस्तार होता जा रहा है, यद्यपि ये हमारे पोटेंशियल से अभी बहुत कम है। मुझे विश्वास है कि हमारे बीच इंडिया यूएसए इन्वेस्टमेंट इंसेंटिव एग्रीमेंट से निवेश की दिशा में कॉन्क्रीट प्रगति दिखने को मिलेगी।
We also discussed the ongoing effects of Russia's brutal and unjustified invasion of Ukraine and the effect it has on the entire global world order. And the U.S. and India are going to continue consulting closely on how to mitigate these negative effects. I'm pleased that we've reached agreement for the U.S. Development Finance Corporation to continue its important work in India, supporting vaccine production, clean energy initiatives, and I'm also glad we're renewing the Indo-U.S. Vaccine Action Program. The Indo-Pacific Economic Framework and the Indo-Pacific Maritime Domain Awareness Program that's going to bring India and the United States together with other nations to reflect our vision for a more open, more prosperous, connected, and secure world.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's worldwide Tokyo tour, Prime Minister Modi and leaders of United States, Japan and Australia attended the second in-person meeting of the Quad leaders, during which they exchanged views about developments in Indo-Pacific region and global issues of mutual interest. Delivering his opening remarks by hailing the alliance, Prime Minister said that the Quad has made an important place for itself before the world in such a short span of time. He also said that Quad scope has become extensive, while reiterating the shared goal of free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. The Quad was formed to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific summit. China has been fuming against the Quad summit, calling it a failed agenda. On the Quad's agenda will be a range of varied topics, from post-COVID recovery, the Ukraine war and climate change. But the main message is to serve a warning to China and its aggression tactics. U.S. President Joe Biden already hardened his stance, saying that the U.S. is ready to arm Taiwan in its defense against China's aggression.
एक्सेलेंसीज, इतने कम समय में क्वाड समूह ने विश्व पटल पर एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान बना लिया है। आज क्वाड का स्कोप व्यापक हो गया है और स्वरूप प्रभावी हो गया है। हमारा आपसी विश्वास, हमारा डिटर्मिनेशन लोकतांत्रिक शक्तियों को नई ऊर्जा और उत्साह दे रहा है। क्वाड के स्तर पर हमारे आपसी सहयोग से एक फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र को प्रोत्साहन मिल रहा है। कोविड-19 की विपरीत परिस्थितियों के बावजूद हमने वैक्सीन डिलीवरी, क्लाइमेट एक्शन, सप्लाई चेन रेजिलियंस, डिजास्टर रिस्पांस और आर्थिक सहयोग जैसे कई क्षेत्रों में आपसी समन्वय बढ़ाया है। इससे इंडो पैसिफिक में शांति, समृद्धि और स्थिरता सुनिश्चित हो रही है। क्वाड इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र के लिए एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव एजेंडा लेकर चल रहा है। इससे क्वाड की छवि एक फोर्स फॉर गुड के रूप में और भी सुदृढ़ होती जाएगी।
Several protesters in Tokyo were seen raising banners against China outside the Japanese Prime Minister's office in Tokyo, demanding the Quad to raise action against China's expansionism agenda. This comes at a time when the United States, Japan, Australia and India held the Quad summit that China was confident would soon fail. My colleague followed me with this report.
Right outside the Japanese Prime Minister's office in Tokyo, where the Quad summit has just concluded and the bilaterals have also concluded, you can see these protesters who've gathered over here bearing these placards which basically say, as you can see, Quad requested action to the Quad summit. They want the Quad to act against China, become the breakwater of the China's expansionism. They're protesting China's expansionism. Realize the free and open Indo-Pacific is what they stand for. They have their various causes, but the concern area is one, China. What are you protesting over here, sir?
South Mongolia.
You're from South Mongolia. Okay. What about the protest placard that you're holding? What do you want to say about China?
We protest for the I'm keeping a support and request to Quad
to sanction China. To sanction China. That is their request as well. Become the breakwater of China's expansionism. So what are you protesting here today?
Yes, I also ask sanction to China.
Okay, so you're Japanese, but you're supporting their cause.
Yes. I'm Japanese. Yes.
Ma'am, you say do not allow Chinese hegemony. That is what. Where are you from and what are you protesting?
I'm from East Turkestan.
Okay.
China is that country. China genociding Uyghur people.
Okay.
3 million, 5 million Uyghur people, China genociding.
And you want the Quad to act against China because of the genocide of the Uyghur people?
Yes.
Okay. So that is your that is the demand that you make from the Quad summit and its leaders. As you can see over here, this gentleman also in fact is a Uyghur. He's also holding up a poster. Can you tell us, ma'am, what's on his poster?
She's a 3 years old, very young Uyghur woman.
Okay.
China kidnapping you.
Oh, okay. So China has killed her, and he is a Uyghur as well.
In Tokyo.
Uyghur man family genociding your his family. Genociding my family, genociding his family.
Okay, so that is the protest that they're making over here. They're saying these people of Uyghurs, basically they're saying that China has abducted their family, China has kidnapped their family members, China is killing their family members, and they want the Quad Summit and its leaders to sanction China, to not allow Chinese hegemony to break away, in fact to ensure that China's expansionist policy, where it is expanding its wings across the Indo-Pacific in its aggression, is stopped immediately. And that is the request that they make of the Quad Summit. With Shweta Singh, follow me, Star, in Tokyo for India Today.